Concept and Reality by Venerable Usilananda. As practitioners of Vipassana meditation, you must understand clearly and accurately the difference between concept and reality, because only one of these is the object of Vipassana meditation. When practicing Vipassana meditation, the meditator must attentively note whatever object is arising and prominent in the present moment. In this context, what does whatever mean? It means whatever belongs to the ultimate truth, or paramatha. In other words, it is whatever truly exists by itself. What exists only through human thought and imagination cannot be used as an object in Vipassana meditation. Vipassana, or insight meditation, is a practice that purifies the mind, and its purpose is to help us realize the three characteristics: impermanence, suffering, and non-self, to have direct experience of the nature of impermanence, suffering, and non-self in all things. For the practitioner to truly see these three characteristics, the object of meditation must possess these three characteristics. A meditation object possesses these three characteristics when it truly exists, arises, and ceases. And because it arises and ceases, it carries the nature of impermanence, suffering, and non-self. What exists only through our thought and imagination cannot be an object of Vipassana meditation because it does not possess the three characteristics, while the function of Vipassana meditation is to penetrate these three characteristics. Let's take the example of a car. At first glance, a car seems real, but when we disassemble it into its parts, there is no longer something called a car. Only individual components remain. What we call a car is merely a concept, existing only in our thinking and imagining minds. The word car is just a conventional concept created for communication, not a truly existing reality. Another example is the hand. With our eyes, we see a hand, but in reality, the eye does not see the hand. It only receives data about the form of the hand, and the mind interprets it as a hand. Our mind actually perceives through the eye consciousness. Immediately after the eye consciousness, there are other mind moments, and it is a subsequent series of mind moments that assembles the data of the hand, allowing us to see the hand. We cannot discern the difference between the data of the hand from eye consciousness and the concept of the hand from the aggregation of this data in the mind, because our mind is not sharp enough to see the different minds continuously arising in succession. Therefore, to us, data and concepts seem to be one, and we say, I see the hand. Concepts are of two types: name concepts and thing concepts. Returning to the example of the hand, the word hand is a name concept, while the actual five-fingered hand is a thing concept. Name concept are the terms created and assigned to an object or person, while thing concepts are the objects or persons to which those terms are assigned. We do not know the starting point of a name concept, nor do we know when that name disappears. How can we see the arising and ceasing of an object when it neither arises nor ceases? Therefore, concepts cannot be used as objects in Vipassana meditation. So, when seeing a hand, how should we note and be mindful? Should we say hand, or seeing? We must say seeing. If we say hand, we are noting a concept, and we will never see the three characteristics of impermanence, suffering, and non-self in it. If we say seeing, we are noting the seeing mind. The seeing mind arises and ceases. This is an ultimate truth, a paramatha that we can experience and use as an object of Vipassana meditation. This is a very important point. Most things carry both types of concepts, name and thing. Humans are the same, carrying both name concepts and thing concepts. The word human is a name concept, and the flesh and blood human is a thing concept. So, within a human, is there ultimate truth? Is there paramatha? The body and mind are the ultimate truths within a human. In the ultimate analysis, only the body and mind truly exist. They are the ultimate truths. There is nothing else. What is paramatha? What is reality? It is what is exactly as it is, without deviation, as it is known. An example is the data about a seen object. Another definition of reality or ultimate truth is what we can perceive through the six senses: ear, eye, nose, tongue, body, and mind. What we can experience through Vipassana meditation. Through the method of Vipassana meditation, we can clearly experience the body and mind, seeing their arising and ceasing. We know that the body and mind are realities ultimate truths because we can directly experience them through meditation practice. What one directly realizes is paramatha. We can read books about ultimate truths or hear lectures about them. But for us, they only become realities when we personally experience them. For example, we can hear about or read about seeing. Seeing is an ultimate truth. But if a person has not experienced seeing, like someone born blind, for that person, seeing is not a direct experience, not a reality, but only something heard from others or learned from books. Another example, we study Abhidhamma about the 121 types of consciousness and 52 mental factors. They are ultimate truths. Until we actually experience them through our own meditation practice, they remain concepts to us because we only know them through words in the scriptures. When we practice Vipassana meditation and truly see the mind arising with greed, we experience the greedy mind within ourselves, and at that moment, the greedy mind is an undeviating truth for us. The same truth, for someone who has not experienced it, is only a concept, but for someone who has experienced it, it is an ultimate truth, a paramatha. Therefore, an ultimate truth known only through books or from others remains merely a concept. When reading about meditation, we learn that there's a mental state called piti, rapture. In this understanding, piti is still a concept. When we meditate and directly realize piti, the mental factor piti becomes a reality for us. Thus, any truth that has not been directly experienced remains a concept. When speaking of reality, everything we see or experience outside of Vipassana meditation is apparent reality. For example, when looking at a line of ants from a distance, they appear as an unbroken black line. Or when a torch is spun, it creates the illusion of a circle of fire, or a stream of sand falling from a hanging bag creates the image of a column of sand connecting the bag to the ground. People often say, seeing is believing. However, there are many things seen that do not correspond to reality, as in the examples above. They are only apparent realities. Because of them, we do not see the ultimate truth. They obscure the reality of things. They are only concepts. Only when we practice Vipassana meditation do we have the ability to penetrate these outer layers and see through to the ultimate truth within. Therefore, when practicing Vipassana meditation, we must strive to attain the ultimate truth, using this absolute reality as the object of meditation. Only then can we break through the layers of apparent reality and penetrate the ultimate truth that they obscure. Only continuous and sharp mindfulness can penetrate the ultimate truth. Beginner practitioners easily mistake a conceptual object for a reality, thinking they are observing an object of ultimate truth, or sometimes noting a conceptual object, and at other times noting an object of ultimate truth, without clearly distinguishing between them. For example, when a meditator follows a breath in and out at the tip of the nose, if you feel as if there is a pencil moving in and out of the nose, you are noting a concept. Only when you feel the movement or the tension of the breath do you have mindfulness of the true nature of the breath, of the ultimate truth in the breath. When observing the breath, we do not note the shape of the breath, but must note its characteristics, the movement or tension. By seeing these characteristics, we see the ultimate truth in the breath. Similarly, with the object of the rising and falling of the abdomen, when the practitioner observed the movement, the inflation and relaxation of the abdomen, the practitioner is mindful of the ultimate truth of the object being observed, that is the air element, veo dhatu. The characteristic of the air element is movement. At that time, the practitioner clearly feels a movement and tension, but does not perceive the shape of the abdomen or the abdominal wall. The reason is that the practitioner's concentration is quite strong, able to penetrate the ultimate truth, so the mind does not attend to concepts. Burmese meditation masters often say, when concepts are clearly perceived, ultimate truth is obscured. When ultimate truth is observed, concepts gradually fade. In the process of mindfulness practice, the stronger the concentration, the clearer the ultimate truth. The clearer the ultimate truth, the more concepts fade. We still live in a world of concepts. The language we use, the sounds we hear, the thoughts we think. So many concepts in each day of our lives. Therefore, when we practice Vipassana meditation, begin to experience ultimate truth, we often feel bewildered, uncomfortable, as if something is not right. This feeling arises because at this stage, concepts begin to fade, but reality is not yet clearly manifested. Therefore, we need to strive to note the ultimate truth, not concepts, when practicing Vipassana meditation. The object of Vipassana must be ultimate truth, not concepts, because concepts do not arise or cease, and therefore do not carry the three characteristics of impermanence, suffering, and non-self. If we use concepts as objects of Vipassana meditation, we will not realize the nature of arising and ceasing of the object, will not see their impermanence, suffering, and non-self. While the purpose of Vipassana meditation is wisdom to penetrate the three characteristics, if the object of meditation does not possess these three characteristics, how can the practice yield results? According to Abhidhamma, there are four types of ultimate truth: mind, citta; mental factors, citasika; matter, rupa; and nibbana. These four ultimate truths truly exist. We can directly experience them through ourselves. Among the four ultimate truths, only nibbana cannot be taken as an object for Vipassana meditation, because nibbana has no beginning and no end, does not arise or cease, and does not carry the characteristics of impermanence and suffering. Only mind, mental factors, and matter can be used as objects of Vipassana meditation. In Pali, mind is citta, defined as the awareness of an object. Mind is mere awareness, not denoting mindfulness, when we practice Vipassana meditation. In Vipassana meditation, meditation masters often remind, let the mind note, be mindful of the object. The mind that merely knows, citta, is translated into English as awareness, and the mindfulness mental factor, sati, is also translated as awareness. Therefore, you should understand the difference between the knowing mind, citta, and the mindfulness mental factor, sati. When the mind merely notes, the characteristics of the object are not yet recognized. For example, in seeing, there is a seeing mind. This seeing mind only connects the mind and the object. At this point, we do not yet know the color of the object or whether the object is a man or a woman, etc. The mind always arises together with mental factors such as feeling, attention, confidence, compassion, understanding, mindfulness, concentration, etc. There are 52 mental factors, but not all 52 arise with every mind. Different groups of mental factors arise with different types of mind. They are called mental factors because they depend on the mind to exist. Therefore, the scriptures teach that the mind leads all mental factors, and the mind is considered the leader. Without the mind, we cannot have mental factors. Mind and mental factors belong to nama mentality. During meditation, when a sound arises, we note hearing, that is, we are noting the mind, the hearing mind, or ear consciousness. When the mind wanders here and there, we note wandering, that is, we are noting the mind, the wandering mind. Or when we desire something, we note desiring, that is, we are noting the mental factor of craving, lobha. When we feel angry, we note angry. We are noting the mental factor of aversion, dosa. And if we note the consciousness that knows we are angry, we are noting the mind, the knowing. The third ultimate truth is matter or rupa. Matter or physical form is that which changes due to heat, cold, hunger, thirst, mosquitoes, etc. Matter does not have the ability to know. It cannot grasp objects because it itself is an object. Matter consists of 28 elements. The four great elements, earth, water, air, fire, and 24 derivative elements that depend on these four great elements to arise. Among the 24 derivative elements are the 6 sense bases and their 6 objects, etc. Matter is an ultimate truth. Matter truly exists, carrying the 3 characteristics of impermanence, suffering, and non-self, and is an object of Vipassana meditation. When we practice Vipassana meditation with the object of the breath in and out at the tip of the nose, or the rising and falling of the abdomen, we are using matter as the meditation object. When noting the breath in and out, or the rising and falling of the abdomen, we are observing matter. And when a sound arises, if we note hearing, we are noting the mind. If we note sound, we are noting matter because sound is the object of the hearing mind or ear consciousness. When practicing Vipassana meditation, the practitioner strives to see the ultimate truth, the absolute realities. To see the ultimate truth, not concepts. The practitioner needs to apply mindfulness, bare noting of the prominent object in the present moment. This noting mind is strong and continuous, not superficial. A shallow, superficial noting cannot be called mindfulness, because the Pali word for mindfulness is sati, and sati originally means not floating on the surface. Therefore, mindfulness is a bare noting mind that penetrates deeply into the object, like a pebble sinking to the bottom of a lake. With such a firm, sharp, and penetrating mindfulness, the practitioner can penetrate to the layers of concepts and reach the ultimate truth. And this ultimate truth, this absolute reality, is the true object of Vipassana meditation, the object that fully carries the three characteristics of impermanence, suffering, and non-self, the object that we are striving to observe clearly. Therefore, when practicing Vipassana meditation, we need to make a continuous effort to maintain mindfulness on the prominent object in each present moment, and this mindfulness must be strong enough to penetrate deeply into the object. If we can do this, the practitioner will penetrate the ultimate truth, and the practitioner will personally experience the different types of ultimate truths. Once these ultimate truths are realized, the practitioner will experience their arising and ceasing, and clearly see their nature of impermanence, suffering, and non-self. With wisdom that penetrates the nature of impermanence, suffering, and non-self, step by step, stage by stage, the practitioner progresses toward the ultimate goal, that is, the realization of the Four Noble Truths. Therefore, we must strive to observe to see the ultimate truth right in our own experience, right in our own body and mind, and continue to progress until we achieve that ultimate goal. At this point, I would like to further discuss the topic of meditation masters and meditation objects. When practicing and teaching meditation, usually each teacher has their preferred object. However, if that object belongs to ultimate truth, then it is a legitimate object of Vipassana meditation. Some meditation masters, based on their personal experience, find a particular object suitable. So when teaching meditation, they transmit the method that has brought results for themselves. These masters reason that if this object suits them, it may suit most meditators. Therefore, we have teachers teaching meditation with different objects. Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw, when teaching the four foundations of mindfulness, uses the movement of the rising and falling of the abdomen as the primary object. In fact, Venerable Mahasi was not the first to discover the rising and falling object, and initially, he did not practice Vipassana meditation with this object. This object was first applied and taught by a lay meditation master. This lay master was a fellow disciple of Venerable Mahasi, both being disciples of the renowned meditation master Mingun Sayadaw. This lay meditation master taught his students to observe the rising and falling of the abdomen, and found that most meditators could grasp this object more easily than the breath at the tip of the nose. Venerable Mahasi agreed with this point through his teaching experience and personal observation. Therefore, later on, he always used a movement of the rising and falling of the abdomen as the primary object to teach Vipassana meditation. Meanwhile, other meditation masters may have never applied this rising and falling object and use other objects to teach Vipassana meditation. The object is merely a means for the practitioner to achieve concentration. At first, the practitioner often sees more concepts, conventional truth, but once the mind is kept on a certain object or subject, the practitioner will develop concentration. A teacher can use any object to teach the method of Vipassana meditation, as long as that object is an ultimate truth, an absolute reality, not a concept. The purpose of choosing the primary object here is to help the meditator achieve concentration as easily and quickly as possible. Therefore, we cannot say that this object is wrong, or that object is right. If the object belongs to ultimate truth, if you try to practice and find it suitable for yourself, find that you achieve concentration easily, you should stick with it, knowing that this is the best object for you. There is no Vipassana meditation object better than another. They are all just objects. The question arises here, why did Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw use the movement of the rising and falling of the abdomen as the object to teach Vipassana meditation? In the commentary of the Masatapatthana Sutta, it is recorded, mindfulness of breathing leads to jhana absorption. This is the method of samatha meditation, and when explaining the method of mindfulness of breathing, the commentary explains samatha meditation in detail. But As meditators know, when practicing meditation, if we use the concept of breath as the object, we are practicing samatha meditation. But when we attentively note the nature of the breath, for example, the air element in the breath, the movement of breath at the tip of the nose, we are practicing Vipassana meditation because the air element, one of the four great elements, earth, water, air, fire, is an absolute reality and ultimate truth. If choosing the breath at the tip of the nose to teach meditation, Venerable Mahasi would have to repeatedly explain the difference between the concept of breath at the tip of the nose and the true nature of the breath at the tip of the nose. So he used the rising and falling of the abdomen as the object to teach meditation to prevent meditators from confusion. Over the years, I have come to this meditation center to teach Dhamma and guide meditation retreats. I have seen the development of this meditation center. Today, this center is considered a reputable and credible meditation center, a place where the practice of Vipassana meditation is purely practiced, not mixed with any other methods. Here, we practice Vipassana meditation as taught in the Tipitaka, in the commentaries, following the tradition of Theravada Buddhism. I will always try to come to you regularly based on my own schedule and your invitations. I am always happy to come to New Lai Meditation Temple because I see you as fellow travelers, walking with me on the path of propagating the Buddha's teachings in the West, both in terms of Dhamma study and practice, pure Vipassana meditation. Together, we can bring great benefits to all those who have a mind seeking to learn and understand the Buddha's teachings. Although I am very busy with Buddhist responsibilities everywhere, every time I step into New Lai Meditation Temple, I always wholeheartedly share my knowledge and experience with you. I am very grateful to you for giving me the opportunity to bring the Buddha's teachings to share with you and with those who have a mind seeking the Dhamma. Here are the Paritta blessings I send to you. May blessings come to you. May the Devas protect you. By the power of the Buddhas, may happiness come to you. May blessings come to you. May the Devas protect you. By the power of the Dhamma, may happiness come to you. May blessings come to you. May the Devas protect you. By the power of the Sangha, may happiness come to you. May you have good health, happiness, and peace. May you attain Nibbana in the shortest possible time.